Hello and welcome to episode 23 of FPL Top Dogs, Ballyhaunis, and thanks for joining us here. Just basically a breakdown of game week 22 just gone and game week 23 ahead of us tomorrow, with the deadline fast approaching tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Just to see where we all are in regard to the FPL universe. Right, just join quickly. Well, this game week gone managed to jump above over 500,000 this game week just gone. So it's just lots that I knew that wouldn't be Captain and Rashford. Them types have made some ground. So it's just for me, it's just about getting past as many dead dead teams as I possibly can. So yeah, 4.396 thousand, 4,396,000. So it's a little bit of an improvement. So we'll see how we get on there. So yeah, still gonna have faith in Maris and still stick with these guys because I got no wild card or no free hit left. So I have to go planning. So the Christy Nicholson pub league here. Jamesy Lyons doing very, very well. Done his wild card. Wow, that's great wild card there. Sets him up pretty well. Just a game week 25. There's no Newcastle, Man United, Brighton, or Brentford. So he's still going to go with the Newcastle here in his wild card. It's it's a strange one. It's like as if he's done his wild card. Maybe he's going to have no choice but to do the free hit because he wants all these players going forward, and like all these players, United, Newcastle, Brentford, fair enough. They're what you want going forward. It's just that Carabao Cup game that's on the 28th, which I think it's the 26th of February or 28th, that weekend, 28th to the 1st of March, which is game week 25. So just has to keep an eye out for that there, Jamesy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of his team will be blank in a game of 25. But yeah, there's something to be said about get the points in the bag first and worry about the game weeks coming, because it's still got 3 game wells. You got game week 23, 24 to come, and then 25. So plenty time. So just get the points in, really. Could have got the same number of points probably if he just trip capped Rashford. Wouldn't have been too much of a difference. Rash, there've been extra 20 points. No captain there, so okay, 12. So he's captain Fernandez, take away the 12 and then add the 40. So that would have been 28. Yeah, I would have probably just used the triple and saved the wild card and the bench boost. Very, very devastating combination, that wild card and the bench boost. Set up the bench boost for a double gamer later on. But yeah, it is what it is, and he's got the points in the bag, and he's leading the way in the Christy Nicholson. Yeah, Shane Healy here in second. No stranger to having a good run 2 years ago, finishing very, very high up. Second to Joy Commando Neenan. Azbalaga, phenomenal. Like we'll see there. Andy from Let's Talk FPL has been absolutely moaning big time about having getting. It's just a no-brainer. And one thing about Shane, he's good at no-brainers. Phenomenal. He doesn't look a gift horse in the mouth, and it's simple. It gets me points. Doesn't get flustered, and it's a good decision. Just sat on his hands and kept Azbalaga, and reaping in the points there. Trippier's again is the no-brainer with Shaw. And De Bruyne, again, he will have to have a look at. There's a lot in here now for game week 25. So you got Botman, Matoma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. It can be managed. It can be managed. So going for Matoma, he's done it again. So he's joined the lads from last week. Kieran Kiley, Dave McNamara, and the young Higgins, Gary Higgins, the Matoma lads, the Matoma crew. Almiron to Matoma, there you go. That's an easy one that I could do myself, but again, we're looking at this game week 25, and again, if you've had Matoma in, fair warn people who said they've been looking at the World Cup doing well, and it's not it's no it's been coming, this Matoma, and it's not going to go away. So that 1-0 massive 5 points, 3 points, and 2 points. Um, bonus 3 points, 5, and clean sheet. So 6. That's where the 11 comes from. So yeah, he's in a great position. Faceman here. Okay, Mitrovic, no need to go off him too much yet, but yeah, Kane and Haaland. Kane has just been doing it. De Bruyne, there's one or two here that he needs to keep an eye on, like Martinelli now with the new lad coming in. Trossard might take a few game minutes off him there, but yeah, Faceman's in a very good position. Again, double game week coming up, plenty of time. This I'm sure he'll do something for City and Arsenal double game week tomorrow in game week 23. Sure, he'll be looking at what he can do there. So it's not fixed. If it's not broken, don't fix it. That's a lot like what Faceman does here. So Joey Neenan has gone down the peg, 76 overall, we'll say, after that -4, which is a bit of a, it's better than my 69 no matter what. So I'm not doing joy there, but losing a few points back there wouldn't really panic too much. James is just having a phenomenal season here, and is getting better and better. As of Alagi, yeah, again, we're talking a bit from last week. Faceman and Joey's team, White, Fernandez, is a little bit of a case of marking each other a bit. One or two exceptions, okay. So the bench there with Andreas and Bueno, and just trying to get these guys in. This really is a case of watching each other and seeing if something can blow up. And I think Joy's and Nketiah could be a good Joy's Eddie Nketiah. Okay, he's got White, and he's got his 3 Arsenal set up, and he's got his 2 City. But what could you put in the City defense there? Nobody knows. Diaz, Ake, Walker. Stones is out, I know, but there's Lewis and Akanji. This it just goes on and on what you pick there. So it's a case of them two are marking each other, but on this case, Shane just there's not going to be much. That's a big difference, 9 points, with them two duking it out. But while they're duking it out, Jamesy here is a little bit more differential. He's mixed it up again, but I am worried about the team going forward. You definitely have to use a free chip, and well, it's up to him. But don't go off what I say. I just give honest, frank opinion here in the FPL Top Dogs podcast. Paddy Caulfield again, Asvalaga, looking again. It is pretty. All the top guys have been Matoma in here now. That's it now. They're sinking the Kool-Aid there. They're all Matoma Knights. Yeah, it's a little bit again. All these teams are going to be quite similar, but without one or two, 3 exceptions that might get them somewhere. So Kieran Kiley has already got his Odegaard. Went a bit differential there. Rashford, Haaland, Kane, Mahrez is always a little bit more interesting. Kieran Kiley teams. He's always got 2 or 3 outside the box, and he's already got Mahrez. I think Mahrez will be a good bet. 2 games, although there are rumors, they say on Twitter that him and Pep had, there's a bit of a, myth off there, after losing again, to Spurs 1-0. And, there seems to be a lot of, Cancelo's gone now. I think to Bayern, is it? Or Dortmund, Bayern, I think it is, Bayern Munich. A few of them have gone, the list of Jesus and Zinchenko's gone and Sterling's gone. So, there's definitely, I think Pep is in the motion of reinventing the team squad. And can he get away with this year with the title just by, and, not like a superhuman effort like before, over 100 points, but just get through this so that next season, that's when they can attack. And also, they're under investigation, and they could, there's talk about them being relegated, and the Premier League are after them, the FA, the UEFA's after them. And I just think this is, I don't think they've spent massively, hundreds and 100 million here. Like you saw what Chelsea have done. I've talked in the last episode about Chelsea. They're getting all their activity in for like a few years worth in a window, just getting all done. It is risky because the players on 7 or 8 year contracts, as I said, will they still have the same mindset in 7 or 8 years' time? But there you go. It's a worry about down in tools somewhere down in the contract, as they're stuck on smaller money than what they should be on. Well, we'll see anyway. It's just got to disrupt the squad. The likes of, Pulisic, Christian Pulisic in there. What's he got to make of this? Am I ever going to get a chance? We've seen, and, young Gallagher. So just rambling off topic, but that's what Kylie teams always do to me. And it's interesting enough, very, very, very interesting. And he's well up there. 79 is a phenomenal score. Going forward, a lot of United and Newcastle, I see. A little bit of Brighton. So a lot of these teams are still going to have to figure out what to do in game week 25. Stevie Stratnolan, very, very amazing week, possibly the score of the week. 96. Ouch. Wowzers. Okay, Rory Hartford there, 105. And Derek Egghead, Hunt flying at 103. He's not going away. He's still chipping away. See, Derek, a triple captain. A lot of triple captains. A lot of people have made up ground now. The other lads probably used their trips before that Haaland trip. And these lads are making their trip money up this game week. And yeah, Rashford's paid off. I've got 40. The rest they've made 20. So again, Saliba looking at Dara's team. Rashford trip. Okay, James has got in. James must be in for a while. Salah's just to make that Fernandez good, very good move. These guys are on the ball. Everyone in the Christy Nicholson's on the ball there. They're doing micro moves that are paying off. So that Salah money will be somewhere in there. So I'm just so lost at the moment. I have to be getting in players everyone else is getting rid of. So that if they have to get them back in again, they'll have to think twice or swallow or do hits, or it's reverse psychology. This is the reverse of what everyone's doing. And then the hope that the wind spins the bottle your way when you've only got a 1 in 10 chance, whereas everyone's on the 9 in 10 chance. But that's where I am. You look, Solly March is all the rage, but really it's Matoma. So, that's the guy, isn't it? So yeah, there is flowing up the league there. He's well on course for a top 10 for the hat. Yeah, but back to Stevie Stretz again. Matoma, he'd probably like March, but that's solid score back in the game. And he would have been one of the Cubs. I have a mock done, but it didn't work out this week. I'll show you what my lines of thinking were. But again, not too bad there. Well, 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at game week 25. There's quite a bit in there here now for Stevie to think about. And see, Chelsea have a game in game week 28 against Everton. So you don't want to be getting rid of your Chelsea players. But if you get rid of them now and make a few extra points, you have to get back them in later, or you just stick with your Chelsea or Everton if you have. That's the thing. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at least not playing in game week 25. So there's something to be thinking of. So people have decided this season to get the points in the bag, worry about everything later. That's just generally what I'm smelling from the top here, the top of the Christinic. Sean, shaky hair, not gone away. 7th was a great position. 72 solid score. Wild card, won't be massively happy. Again, a lot like Jamesy, he wild carded a load of Brentford and Newcastle and United and Brighton. It's a hodgepodge of game week 25 blankers. But I have a funny feeling they'll play the free hit there. so they can keep their guys going forward. But yeah, again, a lot of them are looking quite the same up here, -2 or 3. Again with Davy, McNamara, um, well ahead this year, always in the top 10 or so. Won the Kirklap last year, coming fourth. Gakpo, so nothing crazy. 55, he won't be happy with that. It's brought him back here. I think he was in the top 2 or 3, and he top 4, so he was last week down to 8, and that was a devastating blow, really, like 40 odd on the top guys. It's hard to make that back, but you'll have to figure out something going forward there for Davy. And again, there's a lot of dudes with a lot of Newcastle. Not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that, yeah, there's a lot of work to do there for Game 25. Anybody else we can be having a look at here? Yeah, just want to go back to Jamesy Lyons. It's just to show like this guy is not afraid of anything. He's knocked Haaland on the bench there. So against Spurs away, you probably looked. I don't know how you do, but he's preferred to have Harrison in there playing his game away to United to pick up an assist. So I just wants to mention that. That's just out. He is out of my league, and a lot of others is able to have the cojones to throw Haaland on the bench there and make us 2 extra points. He would have. That's how he played the game. Okay, he could have said Tony, and so he's lost out a point there. Okay, fair enough. But I like the bravado. I like the move. Um, Still got his 92, and that means that there's no player, no matter who they are, they they don't necessarily walk onto James Lyons' team, and that could be the few extra points that really, it's definitely risky. It's risky, but it's risk reward. I'm not so sure it was massive there. The risk reward having Haaland on the bench there, because he could have blown Spurs out there after the 4-2 recently. But he is, look, he got to, there's something about James there. Well done there. I like the movement regardless. Going back, Porcaron has done some good moves. Got in Casemiro, but I think Casemiro, that was an unlucky move. Got to sending off the 2 yellows. Rodrigo's in, but I thought he was injured, and that's why I got him out. Walker. So he's got rid of Walker to get in Ake. Ake's in there. Where is Rodrigo? Which am I thinking of a different one? Sanchez. Okay, Rodrigo. Okay, so that must have been for Casemiro. So he was injured. Rodrigo. I just got in Casemiro, but he's got a -1. So if he left it alone, he would have picked up the 2 points. It's just FPL just does your head in sometimes, possibly massively. Gotta safeguard yourself against that. Connor Freely, good move getting in Fernandez against De Bruyne again, and Cancelo out for me. Good call. Look at that for me. Unbelievable call. That's these micro moves. Everyone is playing the game here. Everyone is on it, mate. That's well done, Connor. Connor, it's just I have to show the hands. Clap, clap. That's a phenomenal move there to get rid of Cancelo, and you just come up with me. Yeah, me. Well, me can't do much better than me. Don't want to blow my own trumpet. Richie Crinners, still 13.29. Okay, dropping back nearly to the 80, 85 plus range. Need to keep an eye on the gap there. 85 is not too bad for now, but strike. Havertz. Oh, it's a Kane's on the bench. Oh, definitely. That I'm not so sure. I think I wish I had his points. I really do. And Gary Higgins is dropped down 2 positions from where he was, so he's maintaining, the points, kept him where he was. But yeah, Matoma, Ferguson, yeah, scored. Is on the bench this time. Cancelo for Shaw, safe move. So that's where we are with the Christy Nicholson pub league here in town. Let's get on to just a few price rises in the last while. Loads of people have already done that, like Faceman. Kane's gone up 11.8 now, 37% ownership is phenomenal. Ben Mee has gone up 4.9, still good value, and Ketchy has gone up. Bukayo Saka has gone up 26, all ready for the double game week coming tomorrow and during the midweek. Odegaard has gone up 7 million now. That's phenomenal. I think he was 6. Akai's gone up. Yeah, and I think I saw Almiron there. He's gone down, so of course he would drop in rank. So that's another 0.1 that I won't be spending in my budget this year. But that's where we are with that. Oh, that would have been interesting. I'll just get rid of this Andy. I always keep an eye on Andy just to try and compare what I'm doing. Terrible season, relatively speaking. I just want to get an idea of who's everyone getting in and who's everyone getting out. What's the latest? I had it up here. Okay, it's just going to take a while. Tomorrow, let's say, who would I would say? I'd say it'd be no idea. No idea. Matone. I was going to say, the that's annoying me now. I have Mahrez, and now I have to be thinking about getting rid of him. So once all the masses move to these players, I have to get off them from where I am. Loads have still got on De Bruyne. Wow, that's probably getting off. Probably using the Bruno money to get back on KDB. So yeah, there's still loads getting on Shaw, Akai. It's just that's just there you go. And who's got Cancelo off, Almiron, Martinez, Tony, Rodrigo, Bruno. Loads have got off. Well, if he's dropped in price, he probably will drop in price when I have no choice to get into Salah really. Your dude from Tarkowski from Everton, so that he'll be playing in game week 28, which will be Chelsea. That's but at least it's a body and the field for that one, and then that will get me able to get in Salah and take a chance on his double game week in 25, which I think it's Palace at home, and it's the Palace away or Palace away and Wolves at home. Let's see if I can do that. So I was thinking of getting rid of like Trippier. I know it's crazy, but just have to do something. Might as well go down swinging. So was it Almiron? So yeah, I was going to get rid of Trippier, get rid of Almiron. Yeah, I know he scored the other week, so he's still 4.2. That's not too bad. And I have 12.7 for Salah. So look, it's a huge amount of got off Salah. Oh, there's no players of that. Well, for Everton. Oh yeah, well, right. 12.7. So no rush at the moment. I don't know if there's any point too much. I can get that done next game week for free. Roll a transfer. Of course, all things change between then. But yeah, that would then I'll worry about Newcastle. Because Newcastle have tricky fixture list now coming here. And we get to the stage now. Do we really think Newcastle will finish top 4? I know they have a free run this year, but they've got okay, Liverpool at home mightn't be too bad. Get double. That's the game week gone in 25. Blanking 26. Okay, City away. So you might have to worry about Newcastle players until game week 27, and after that, then they could have a run. But Man United is tricky, but yeah, they got the best chance they ever have this season of finishing top 4. Spurs, City, Liverpool, United, they're all in action again. Chelsea. So yeah, totally lost for this team. Right, let's have a look at what the mock-up was. This was basically this is what I had in plan. This is what I had in plan, but it didn't work out because these pictures aren't downloading properly. Well, they got Joy and Faceman, Shane Faceman, Luigi Healy here, and Joy Commando Neenan. As you can see, they're second and third here in the ranks. And basically, we have the Lion Tamer, James Lyons, as the Lion Tamer here, and the Cubs here at the bottom, thrown in at the bottom, and have Kieran Kiley's face and Dave McNamara, you know, Sean Shaky Her or something, a few of these in the line here, maybe Pat Caulfield for them here, down here, and just Jamesy Lyons conducting the orchestra of is the Christy Nicholson. He's the ringmaster of the Christy Nicholson Pub Fantasy League here. And yeah, he's got it all under control. And yeah, where did I get this from? I just Googled something about Lions Cubs, Lion Tamer, and this came up with a guy called Mike Murphy, and he's on the books of RTE, presenter, report. I'm going to watch this later. Don't know if you can show any of this thing here now, but it's 1977, like double denim. Anyone of you remember Mike Murphy?
Yeah, no, I hope those cats are well and truly fed, aren't they? What are you worrying about? I wouldn't worry because there's not much picking on you anyway. Listen, where are they? Or if you come with me, I'll take you to the fair town fishing.
Okay. So anyway, whatever that is, that's where I was coming with that. And that was Mike Murphy. Maybe if I can just and that's Mike there. So he really is confident there in the Tigers. So that's where I was coming from there. So yeah, happy enough. I'm gonna redo this picture best. I'm gonna give it a go, re-download, load it, and gotta go somewhere tonight. So yeah, that's basically all we have. I don't have much more in regard to tips or any advice really, because all of you are doing it on your own magnificently. I suppose we haven't gone into the King of the Travelers, but we could look at that another time. There's not a lot you can do, but yeah, that's basically the Oracle Phillips here. Quick look, Starman's just got in sideways move with Ake. Will he start? Will he not? He's got a couple of positions, I know, right back and center. So we'll see anyway. But Odegaard, Zinchenko, and Shaw, the full works. That's the thing. Like it's from where that's Sean Duffy, but from where Mark Phillips is and where I am, it's at this stage there's just no difference finishing a millionth or a trillionth to 500,000 really. Who cares? You're not in the top 10 of the top dogs. You're not in the top. You're not even the top podium. You're not even the top 100K. Top 500K is just a absolutely joke of a season. Never mind 4.3 in the world or whatever I'm at. This to me, it's about just have to take chances and get a couple of Hail Mary game weeks. And I mean like 50, 100, bang, wham, bang. Oh, all of a sudden, a chance for a top 10 top dogs finish for 2022-23. That's the name of the game for me and for a lot of us down here. John Kelly, Mudrick, Kilbride, he's still thinking. Mudrick now looking for getting in quick. But again, his team is quite similar to Everton up above and around. It's going to be very hard to make any sort of move because everyone's on it. See, usually people have given up the game by now. And then, this is February and people are still on it. Normally, loads of people are gone away by November. It's not been the case this year. That's all I want to say this year. The influencers, the bloggers, everyone's on it. Everyone loves it. I think when the COVID came around, it got a new, like we would say probably 7 to 8, 9 million we had a lot, but a lot of people went away. And then with the COVID came around, people refocused their minds. They got into a habit now, their habit of playing, checking. Loads of influencers, bloggers like FPL. Let's talk FPL and FPL Mate. and the Fantasy Scout, all these guys, their subscriptions, their viewership, they've gone through the roof. And that's just basically people with football happening and nothing else happening during that time. Everyone's on it. And it's, if you get a bad start, even if it's the first 5 game weeks, you're gone. The game's over. So yeah, this has been a funny season, and it's hard to bring a smile on the face apart from needing to go on down a couple to numb the pain, or say anesthetic, or whatever. But there you go. Keith Robson there. So just quickly going down. Richardson is light years ahead of me. 62. Okay, made a little bit of ground. 11.56. But look at that. 70 points just gets you up about 15 places. Oh. Okay, I'll let you go. Thanks for listening. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, we're okay. Deadline tomorrow. Best of luck. Double game week. Arsenal and City. That's the double. And good luck with your team, everybody. Right, yeah. Just on the side note, Fulham won their FA Cup game against Sunderland away, so they're going to be playing Leeds at home. So one of them 2 teams are definitely going to be out of that game week 28. So whether it's going to be Liverpool, Fulham, or Wolves versus Leeds, one of them will be going out, depending on who wins against Fulham and Leeds in the FA Cup, which will be played in game week 25, 28th of February to the 1st of March. And then that's the round 32, or it's around round 16, well, and then the quarterfinals of the FA Cup on game week 28. And it really looks at this stage: Arsenal, Palace, Villa, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Everton, and Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle will be on. So I have to be careful of what Newcastle you get rid of, because you'll want them down the line. Definitely after game week 27. You could rest a few against maybe City, or even just play them all. They're having a great season. So the games under doubt really is that Liverpool, Fulham match, Wolves, Leeds, as I said, Brentford and Leicester. If Leicester beat Blackburn at home, which they could do, well, Blackburn are a good team, then Brentford and Leicester will go ahead in game week 28. So keep an eye on what Leicester do against Blackburn. And then there's Spurs, Southampton versus Spurs. Well, that game looks like to definitely be called off, because, well, Spurs need to beat Sheffield United away, but that game will still be called off if Southampton beat Grimsby at home. So there's 2 matches there, 2 likelihoods that game should be postponed eventually if any of them win in game week 28. So just to be mindful. Then there's Brighton versus United. If United lose to West Ham, then the Brighton game will be on. But if West Ham lose to United away at Old Trafford, then the City West Ham game will go ahead in game week 28. So it's still a lot up in the air. We need to figure out what happens in this game week 25 on the 28th of February, the Carabao Cup as well, with Newcastle and United. I'll be there at Wembley. I'll be working the event, so I'll be smelling the mood and raring and ready to go to Wembley, buy a program and get a sample of the atmosphere. Hard game to get into. Loads of Newcastle, because have about 70,000 Newcastle fans outside with no tickets. That's going to be mental. So yeah, there's a lot to keep an eye on for this game week 25 to 28. We'll know about, we can cross off and make more certainty about the games going ahead. Anyway, good luck and take care. Guru out.